Solving equations by graphing. This mini lesson will allow you students to use technology to solve equations by graphing. So you will be able to use the graphic calculator to solve one-step, two-step, or multi-step equations. Solving equations using the graphic calculator. First step is to adjust your viewing window by pressing the window key. Here you will set your x min, x max, and x scale, along with your y min, y max, and y scale. After adjusting your viewing window, press the y equals key. Enter the equation that you have, enter the left side of the equation in y1, and enter the right side of the equation in y2. After you enter your equation in y1 and y2, press the graph key. There you will see the two lines intersection on your graphing screen. Next, you will press the second trace keys. After you do that, press the number 5 and then press enter 3 times. The value that you have for x is your answer. But wait, what if you have an answer that is a decimal? The calculator will store the value that you have for x in its memory. So if you press second mode to get back to the home screen, then press the X key right next to alpha, and then press the math key, and then hit enter twice, it will take the decimal answer that you have and convert it over to a fraction. Here are 4 problems. Get your calculator out, and as I go through the steps, follow along what I have on the screen. The first problem that you have, 3x minus 4 equals 5. Well, first of all, we want to adjust our window, and here we will change the x min, x max based on the information that you have in your notes. So I am changing the x min, x max, and my x scale. And you can use your down arrow and your right arrow key to navigate through the screen. The X res only does, what it does is to speed up the actual graph. So let's go to y equals now. The first equation that you have, 3x minus 4, the left side goes in y1 and the right side goes in y2. So I will put 3x minus 4 in y1 and 5 in y2 and press graph. Now I can see the two intersections on my graphing screen. Now I want to press second trace, the number 5, and hit enter 3 times. The point of intersection happens to be x equals 3. So that will be the answer for that particular problem, x equals 3. So let's try the next problem. Press y equals. Now we want to clear this information out, and now we want to key in our new equation. Press 1/2 x minus 7 in y1, and then negative 4 in y2. And if you type the equation as you see it on your paper, the calculator will recognize the order operation. So now I want to press graph, and I can see my intersection of my two lines. Next, I want to follow my steps and press second trace, the number 5, and hit enter 3 times. Your answer for this problem happens to be x equals 6. Now, in the next problem, you have an r. As I clear out the last equation in my calculator, this is one note that you need to know. You cannot type any other variable in the graphic calculator besides x. So in the place of the r in the equation, use x and then just use r when you get your answer. So I type in 2/3 x plus 3/4, and that goes in y1, and then 7/12 goes in y2. So regardless of decimals, fractions, or whole numbers, the graphic calculator will recognize each one of these things, and it will keep the order operations. So next I will press the graph key, and then I will press second trace, the number 5, and then hit enter 3 times. And this time I have a decimal for an answer. So what I want to do is press second and mode. Then I press the X key. And if I hit enter, the decimal answer that you had on your graphing screen is now on my home screen. Next, I want to press math and then hit enter twice. And what it does is change the last answer that you had, which is negative decimal 25 or negative decimal 25, to a fraction, which is negative 1/4. So as I go back over here on your paper, instead of writing X, you write R equals negative 1/4. Last problem. The graphic calculator again will allow you to type the problem as you see it. So I will type in 10x minus parentheses above the 8, 4x plus 8, close parentheses, goes in y1. In y2, I will type in negative 20 and then press graph. Following the same steps, second trace the number 5 and hit enter 3 times. The point of the intersection for this particular problem is x equals negative 2. So on your paper, problem number 4, answer is x equals negative 2. So as you can see, the graphic calculator is a great tool that you can use to help you solve equations. In your math journal, label today's entry, solving equations by graphing. What I would like for you to do is explain how to solve an equation by graphing. In addition to your explanation, provide an example that you solve using the graphing function. So make sure that you explain each step of the way, what you do when you first got to adjust your window, then tell me how to enter the equation into y1 and y2, and then tell me how to graph, and then tell me how to find the answer. Also, copy these 4 problems on a separate sheet of paper and bring these 4 problems to class tomorrow. And also, if you have any questions about how to use the graphic calculator, make sure you jot down any questions that you may have and bring those questions also to class tomorrow.